I don't know how to start this video, but do me a favor. Listen to this shit for just a second. Okay, so first off, I don't care what you're listening to. Country, K-pop, R. Kelly, Lil Wayne, The Temptations, Lil Dorito, Lil Stereo. There's no way you're fucking telling me that didn't slide. Like, just be honest with yourself. Now that I've got your attention with that banger of an intro, I believe it's time to start talking about the show itself, Air Gear. Air Gear is a lost gem of the anime world. Like a lot of other shows, it didn't get the anime adaptation it deserves, or the fan base and attention that it deserved. But Air Gear did something amazing, something that a lot of shows really don't do, and that is have a really unique world setup. A lot of shows, you can tell where like the copycatness comes from, and it's sad. Like it's not that difficult to divulge in your own mind and think of something creative. We all have different mindsets, and we're all different. We all like different things. But I must credit Oh Great for creating this anime, because this, honestly, watching the show over and over, no matter how many times I've seen it, 10, 12, 30 times, it never fails to get my creativeness going. Like, it never fails to make me want to do something and create different things and just see what I can come up with. Now, the setting of Air Gear, the underground, basically. Well, above ground, but underground. You get what I'm saying. So, Air Gear, similar to Jet Set Radio, took it to the streets, where teams of Storm Riders would slap their emblem on other teams and compete for turf and parts for ATs. ATs and AT battles meant so much and so many different things to so many different people. Some just wanted to figure out a way to fight and cause trouble just for their own personal gain. For others, it meant conquering turf, and others rising to the top. But in the end, ATs were made for everyone to fly. There's something about an anime that can immerse you into their world and technology in so little episodes and so little words. This now brings me to arguably my favorite part of the show and the series as a whole. The characters in this show are cold. C-O-L-D. Cold. Yes, the story in this series fades in and out a bit with how much goofiness and ridiculous moments are in it. But when it comes to the characters and designs of the ATs and the clothes and the emblems and just everything, it's basically unmatched. It's like Jet Set Radio in anime form, but way more, I want to say, raw. Cause it's like, Oh Great knew what he was doing with this show. He didn't give a fuck what people thought. He didn't care if he showed titties on that screen for 22 minutes. Hell, 22 episodes either. So it's like, I love that Air Gear knows their style. They know what it is, and they're gonna take advantage of it for what it is. They're not gonna pretend to be Dragon Ball or Naruto or Bleach or anything else. They know that this is not for everyone, and they know that it's their own thing for them to enjoy. As well as talking about Oh Great and how he didn't care and how he just did his own thing. It's the same exact thing with the characters. He put a little bit of the characters into himself. Like, Iki's a jackass. A jackass kid who doesn't care. He gets his ass beat and then gets stronger. And then continues to be a jackass because that's how the fuck he is. Kazu's always shy and just lets Iki do all the talking. Never really speaks up like that. And he continues to do that. Yes, he's a badass, but he knows it's not in him to be the shit talker and the guy that just goes out starting fights with everyone. Agito, arguably the best character of the show. Besides Iki, of course. Iki's a goat. But Agito, one of the best characters, probably with the most growth, even just through the 25 episodes they have animated, and countless others, from the Skull Satyrs to the Boa Dogs to Trident to Behemoth. They all have their own ways of doing things, and they're not going to change because of the way people look at them or the way people think about them. It's them. Like, you, just like in real life, you can't change somebody. But the bottom line is that everyone has their thing that makes them stand out. It's very rare to find a character in Air Gear that's not covered by a mask or something and get them mixed up with another team or another leader. It's just hard because their styles are just so significantly different that you know a Res Bulldog when you see one. You know who's a part of Behemoth. You know when you see somebody from Iki's crew, Kogurasu, because that's just the way they roll. They all carry themselves different. Now, with the plot of Air Gear, it has the potential to be a top anime of all time. Honestly, if it got the recognition and everything it deserved while it was streaming and while it was going on, it would be so huge. It would be a pioneer of anime. You can't convince me that it wouldn't be, because, like, take for example, Jet Set Radio is amazing. People ask for Jet Set Radio every year. They're expecting it at E3, all this stuff. And it's like, that same love can be transferred to Air Gear, but Air Gear is just like, it's you watching the characters. It's a real story. Watching Iki climb to the top of Tripium, watching him and his best friends ride together and take on different AT teams and just battling it out in races, hurdles, balloon battles. It's crazy. Honestly, the concept of the show is crazy. Like, how enticed you get while watching the show is crazy for how many episodes it has. It only has about 25 episodes. Meanwhile, a lot of other shows that are overrated, overhyped, have gotten the opportunity to have multiple seasons and hundreds of episodes, and they become mediocre after the first season. But Air Gear, like, there was so much potential. It was fucking crazy. It's fucking ridiculous how it got basically shut down. Like, all of it, like, I don't know, because you go into Jet Set Radio videos on YouTube, you will see comments about Air Gear. You look at the OSTs and stuff about Air Gear with millions of views, and there's everybody sitting there talking about Air Gear, and it's like, they said that it wasn't selling and there wasn't the fan base to back it up, but there is the fan base to back it up. There was definitely the fan base behind it, and it's honestly sad seeing as all these people that love this show and love this concept, and a show that really, in my opinion, it had potential from the fucking moon and back to be an amazing show, and it just missed its opportunity basically. And I don't know if there's gonna be, if a reboot will ever come, or I don't know, but the fan base is still there and people are still waiting. Sadly, they've been waiting for about 8 years, 10 years for this, and it's not sure it's gonna come. With all that being said, it's time to get on to my final point of this video, which is the S rank soundtrack of Air Gear. Air Gear has so many good ass fucking songs in their OSTs, man. Like all the chain remixes, not humming but vibing, just Sky Grinder, like all of it is so good. Like Naruto, I don't think it's any argument. Naruto is an S rank OST. It has an S rank OST. Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. I would, in my opinion, I would put Air Gear right up along with Naruto without any debate, because the style of the music, it's like the hip hop and even the reggae and all that they have on the soundtrack is amazing. The amount of diversity that they put onto that soundtrack is amazing. It's mind-blowing. Like, you can be listening to the whole OST and randomly it'll have you laughing with all the ad-libs they have in the song, and then next thing you know, you're crying because you're listening to fucking Chain, the Magna Central remix, and then you're back to getting hype when they turn on Dawn of the Basement and all of it, bro. Like, it's crazy how good the soundtrack is. Just for the soundtrack alone, it could have carried the show for so many more episodes. You know how many shows get carried by their soundtrack? Imagine Naruto with no music. Exactly. There wouldn't be a Naruto. but like, it's honestly sad and heartbreaking to see this soundtrack go to waste, because they could have used it for so long, and just had so many emotional scenes, so many great moments with the amount of good songs on that playlist. I know the manga is finished and over with, but Air Gear is fucking amazing, bro. You have to have a super strict mindset to not like this show. Even with all the perverted characters and titties on the screen, it's still my favorite anime to this day. I find myself rewatching it basically every year, sometimes every few months, and each time I rewatch it hits me even harder, knowing it might not be rebooted. And lots of anime has so much potential, but Air Gears was different. The love was, and even to this day, is still strong for this series. The sounds and music make you want to fly, all puns intended. They make you want to do something and just follow your dreams. It's a different love from Naruto. It's a different kind of nostalgia from Dragon Ball Z. The characters, the plot, starting from nothing at all you have are your ATs and your homies, and flying in the sky with your best friends, defending your town, making your name known, fighting to be yourself and not being anyone's shadows. Hell, even getting revenge. It's all part of an amazing story called Air Gear that will never be outclassed. It gives a feeling to something inside me that no other show really has, and it deserves all the support in the world. With all that being said,
fine, but you better not hold me back, you hear me? Alright then,